What is going on, puckheads? We welcome you back in to another episode of Pens and Pucks, the Depression era. As always, I'm your co-host Jordan, and I'm joined by my brother and co-host Nick. How you doing tonight, Nick? Besides the fucking obvious,
It's I'm in shock. Again, we're a couple hours away, or a couple hours into this debacle of being knocked out in six by the Islanders. I'm in shock. It's disheartening, for Penguin fans and everybody out there. You look forward to the postseason. You go through a season, and this was a shortened one with 56 games, and you're over in a week and a half. It's fucking unbelievable. It really is. There's a lot of words, a lot of comments I want to make tonight, and it's a sad day for Penguins, for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Sad day for Penguin fans, because the window. I think it's closed. I think this window is closed. I don't know, like the soft rebuild we talked about, Jordan, but it's not a good night. It'll be even more sour in the morning. I remember, 4 or 5 years ago, before we won in 2016, 2017, talking you down from the rooftop a couple times in your younger days when the Penguins would get knocked out, like against the Flyers or whatnot, when high expectations were there for the Penguins. It's nonsense.
can I have a minute?
It's your mic, bro.
I'm not gonna snap at Chris Letang again, even though he overpinched and overactivated on the first goal, as usual. I'm not gonna snap at Matheson and this defensive core in the first 5 minutes of the game, literally giving the puck on a silver platter, offering them chance after chance to score on Tristan Jarry. But Tristan Jarry, you fucking sieve of a player. I swear to God, you are the biggest trash can walking this earth. And you know what's funny? A trash can probably could have stopped a few of those goals you let in tonight. It is unbelievable that a guy like you is even at this level. You shouldn't even be playing in the beer league at what you've shown you can do. I don't know who your mama stroked off for you to get above junior hockey, but good God almighty, it is an absolute joke that you are an NHL goaltender, let alone a starting NHL goaltender. And Mike Sullivan, the man who has balls smaller than a fucking gnat, for you not pulling this guy and bringing in Manny Legacy, because what did you have to lose besides your job, which you're going to lose anyways, you fucking idiot? What did you have to lose by just going to Manny Legacy? We lost a 1-0 lead. We lost a 2-1 lead. That should have been it, let alone when we lost a 3-2 lead. And you leave this fucking garbage can in the net, and they score 2 goals to put the game out of reach in under 3 minutes. So as much as it's on Jarry's shoulders, Mike Sullivan, your stubbornness to not adapt, your stubbornness to not adjust, and your stubbornness to leave this fucking kid in there when, you know what? I get Manny Legacy's only played 16 games in the last 4 years, but guess what? Last I checked, when he played for us, that team locked down in front of him, and he pitched a donut. Name me the last time Tristan Jarry pitched you a donut or even gave you some semblance that he was going to get close to that. And if anyone has followed this team as closely as me and Nick have, whenever the backup goalie is in there, this team just has always played tighter during the Crosby era. So tell me why that wouldn't have been worth giving it a shot. Mike Sullivan, you're going to be sitting in the fucking passenger seat with Letang and fucking Jarry right behind you in the Uber, on your way to fucking Pittsburgh International Airport, and motherfucker, I'll pack all your bags. Get out of our town. You do not, none of you deserve to wear this on your chest, because with this comes expectations. And this is now 4 years in a row a team with the best 200-foot player arguably ever, even though at times the series he didn't look like it, ever. And you've now wasted 4 years of potential cup runs because of your stubbornness. My brother says it best. You got the Dan Bilesma disease. And because of that, there's no cure. Pull the fucking plug and let it die. That's all I got to say about that.
So, definitely agree with a lot of those comments. You pointed out a number there with Legacy playing only 16 NHL games, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Before the playoffs, Sorokin has only played 22 NHL playoff games. So there you fucking go.
Against us.
Right. Okay. So
Trotz has the balls to sit. We talked about this pregame. Because Trotz has the balls to sit a Vezina candidate, $8 million+ a year guy on the bench. Why? Because he knows he's getting better production. And Nick, me and you have seen the song and dance. They did it when Vokoun was in net. They played better. They played tighter. They knew they had to. When Murray first took over the pipes, they played better. They played tighter in front of him.
Mm-hmm. So, again, I was just on my other podcast, and we were talking about the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I know you're Leafs and blah, blah, blah. But one thing that one of my guests pointed out was the fact that the Leafs play different when Campbell's in net and when Anderson's in net. When Campbell's in net, they protect them. So if they would have started Legacy one of these games, guaranteed the team in front of him, would have played different, because you know what? They want to rally around the guy. You said it before in the pregame. You asked me, have they lost faith in Jari? And definitely they have. They lost faith in him right away in this game. That 2-2 goal from Pajot, shooting it from the blue line, and just a soft shot from the blue line, and Jari blocked it with his blocker into the slot for the goal. Right there and then, you're pulling him.
You got to put that in the corners, brother.
Right. And we talked about this in intermission. That's a basic save. You punt that in the corner. But the crazy thing about tonight, Jordan, is, again, I think Nick said it here. He said, somebody said it, sorry, Gaming with Geo said, apparently the Pens led 11 times in this series. Isles led 4 times and won 4 times. Imagine holding a lead. And that is 100% correct. This game here was Penguins' game to have 1-0, 2-1, 3-2. And then they go through that 3-goal debacle in a matter of 3 minutes.
And just to add some more context before you keep going here, with what Gaming with Geo is saying, if you saw what they put up tonight, we led in this series for over 175 minutes. Before they took that 4-3 and 5-3 lead, they had only led for about 35 minutes in this series.
Yes. Yeah. But it all comes down to, Jordan, it comes down to the coaching staff and understanding how to play, and understanding you have to change in-game systems, and they refuse to. And the thing that really, really drives me absolutely insane here tonight is, listen, I don't like to call out Sid. He's done amazing things. Elite performer here. One in a lifetime player. We're lucky to have him. 3 cups, I get it. But Sid's line tonight was -10. -10.
And on the Boulevier goal, that was on Sid, right? Mm-hmm. He let him get past him, and then he just went around him and scored. And then was it the third goal? Was it that third goal where Jari didn't stand a chance?
Yeah, it was a third goal where Sid
He didn't
lost his
take the
man.
body at the. He didn't take the
Take the body
body
at the blue line and then he
entering
lost his
his
man. Yeah.
zone, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you take that body at the blue line,
Mhm.
that play doesn't happen because it doesn't get dished to the right wall and then back across the ice.
Right. You know what's crazy about this all? You look at Jenny Malkin tonight. He got 2 assists.
He looked like
was
he wanted it more than Sid.
exactly, yes, and he was an even, no minus, no plus. Um, you know, I listened to Sully's press conference. He's a man that
I haven't listened to it yet.
he knows he's on his way out.
Good.
You look at. Let me read a tweet here by.
Don't tell me he just said we got to stick to the same process next year.
No,
I'll punch my screen. I swear to God.
He did say some nonsense about believing in the core. There's still these guys are passionate guys. Letang, Malkin, and Crosby. Yeah, that's there's a lot of things. Let me read one thing here, Coach Sullivan. I couldn't be more proud of the season we had as a team.
How?
Listen. I said to the players after the game that I was so disappointed for them because I know how hard they've worked and some of the adversities that we fought throughout the course of the year. That is bullshit. At the end of the day, the regular season, you get in the playoffs and you have to perform. I mean, it's exactly winning the East Division, putting that banner up means nothing. It's a jabroni division title. Who gives a shit about that? And then, one of the things that really bothered me tonight is that, I said while I was watching the game, where would this team be if Jeff Carter didn't come to the Penguins?
Yep.
Because he was the heart and soul of the team in this series.
What a beauty he scored tonight. Beauty. JFC.
Right. So the sad thing about this all is that, and this is a quote from Jeff Carter, I really enjoy my time here. It's a great group of guys up and down the lineup. It's definitely a team that compete for the Stanley Cup. Jordan, what did I tell you? What would you read from that? What would you read from that?
That you're right. He's probably going back to LA.
100%. He's not staying. No player says that. I enjoy my time here. And you know what, Jeff? We enjoyed you wearing the black and gold.
I loved them, bro.
You brought it to every game.
Every night, man.
Every night, man. For 36 years old, for us to depend on you for scoring, and you came and you led this team in goals. You showed Sid,
this is how you do it, kid.
You made Sid look silly in this playoff. And you know what, 87, I'm going to tell you this. Like I said, I love you. Like, you did amazing things for Pittsburgh, but I'm sorry, man. But the effort and the balls tonight you showed, man, that was leadership at its worst, in my opinion. Tonight had to be the best game of the series for you. And tonight was the worst game for you of this series. And you know what? We went down just like the captain went down. And it is the same movie the last 4 years. Enough's enough. Like, listen, you know what? You have Penguin fans that are from 5 years old to 80, whatever it is. And I will be a black and gold fan for the rest of my life. But you know what? To go out the first round, to go out to the New York Islanders.
It was a whimper.
We're
up 2-1 in this series and we lose 4-2. Inexcusable.
Right. And you lose 3 games in a row and you're letting the Islanders score, 5 goals against you. At will.
Brock Nelson, they were trying to feed him the hat trick at the end of the game.
I will. No guts. You look at the Minnesota Wild tonight, pushing that series to the brink. Game 7 on Friday night. Tampa Bay beat Florida tonight. That series is over, but the Florida Panthers gave up a fight there. But
yeah, they went down with a fight, man.
Exactly. We didn't go down.
We went out with a whimper in the night, bro.
Jake Getzel scored the 1 goal tonight, but man, was he a ragdoll this whole series. This is the problem. And again, Pittsburgh fans are not going to want to hear this. When your leadership core sucks out and doesn't show that you're going to fight through it, Jake has the Sid disease. Jake has the Letang disease. Jake now has the Malkin disease. when the tough gets going, it's over. It's rubbed off on him.
And I really thought that changed after game 3 when we kept giving up leads, but they kept. And do you think they checked out because of Jari? Because even the commentators were talking about it tonight. What was it? Who's the color guy? Not the main guy, but the color one on CBC tonight. The former player.
Gary Galley.
Okay. Even Gary Galley said, imagine how the players must feel every time they get something going. It's just, you probably feel like you're moving in quicksand right now.
But that's again, it goes down to Sully understanding that the boys are not believing in him. Put legacy in, make a story. Like Trotz made a story. There's a storyline out there. Sorokin is the new guy in Long Island. We believe in Sorokin. He does not change. He does not want to give in to anything here. He didn't make one lineup change here.
We saw Malkin with Sid for one shift.
No. I'm talking about inserting different guys into the lineup. Okay? Right?
Yeah,
the only change he made was he took Rodriguez out when Malkin came back healthy, okay, or whatever, back into the lineup. That's the only change he made. He didn't put in, maybe tonight you put in Rodriguez. Maybe tonight, as crazy as this sounds.
Give Ruwiel a shot.
Ruwiel. Maybe even Sevier. Czar's done fuck all. If you realize something, and tonight showed me something. Bluger was stapled on the bench. Tanev was stapled on the bench. Okay. If you go back to their ice time tonight, and let me bring this up here tonight.
I just want to add, Nick, because you said about Tanev, it was either after the 4th or 5th goal, Tanev was on the ice. Did you see what he did after the puck went in?
No, I didn't see it. What did he do?
He was on the ice. He's right in front of Jari. Buddy, he went like this. Just threw his head back.
Yeah.
Just threw his, and he's thinking to himself, make a save, kid.
Right. Teddy Bluger, 7 minutes and 24 seconds. Aston Reese, 7:20. Brandon Tanev, 10:06. Okay. And then your boy that, man, did he blow up? Did he blow up the last few games? Chris Letang. He went from.
I told you it's only a matter of time.
Exactly. And you know what's crazy about this whole friggin' thing tonight is that he led the Penguins with 28 minutes of ice time. He's the
biggest disaster on the
and biggest disaster. And let's be honest with you here. All the D we have from 1 to 6 are very similar, except for Cody Ceci. And Ceci didn't have the best game tonight. But you look at Matheson, skate puck moving defenseman. Letang, same thing. Dumo, I think he gets caught up with Letang. I think if you put him with a better partner, he's better. And he played really well. The end of the season, he's played well. I'm not going to put anything on Dumo. He's had a couple mistakes in this series, but for the most part, he's played well.
What's scary too? Barzal and Eberle didn't even really get going against us.
Listen, Everly had 2 goals in the series, and Barzal, I think, got 1 or maybe none. And I'm going to check that now. So tonight, Barzal, he didn't score tonight.
He was actually a minus tonight.
I don't think he scored a goal.
+3. He was a +3. Eberle was a -2.
Yeah, I don't think he scored a goal in this series. Did he have a goal this series?
Barzal was a -2. My bad. No, he did not have a goal this series.
Right. Okay. So Nick says,
and what happened? Palmieri scored again, and I wanted him at the deadline, bro. And who else scored? Who else got a point for them? Zajac.
Yeah, you know what?
Just from games 3 to 6, the inability to win key faceoffs, man. Holy crap! And what's the worst thing is they got their power play, their peeper clicking a little bit over the last couple of games, and it didn't matter, bro.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter if you have your offense clicking if you can't keep the puck out of the net, and you can listen. Jari stunk. He stunk this series. I
gotta ask you a question.
Yeah.
Is he ever going to start for be a starter for another team again?
Done.
Like, could you see him not being in the league in a couple years?
No, I can see Jari being a backup. Yeah, Jari. Listen, as crazy as this sounds, if you get people want to run this guy out of town, I understand, but I think you really have to look at what Jari brings to the table. He is a backup goalie. Okay, now he's a backup goalie. You got to look at getting a legitimate number one goalie. And then listen, if Jari wants, you play out Jari here, he plays, 25 to 30 games. He can do that. But he's just shown now that, listen, I think the guy's a little bit, we talked about this pregame, the cocky, the arrogance. He stinks. He really he really blew this for the Penguins. But that being said, you look at the lineup overall, and you look at, the top forwards, the Rust, Getzel, Sidline, they were a disaster this series. Kapanen was he wasn't even good. A couple good plays, the first goal in that first game. Goudreau looked out of place there. He's not a third line player, right? He's a fourth line player. Everybody talks about the Blueger, Tanev, Reese line. Listen, Reese stinks. Okay, Czar stinks. He can't skate. He can't bury. He's way overrated. Teddy Blueger has, declined in his play. I don't believe in him anymore to be that player that we thought he was going to be. And then Tanev, yes, Tanev definitely, he's got heart, whatever. But you can't expect him to produce offense. Then you look at the back end, Jordan, right? And that Marino Pedersen was just a disaster. Matheson is, again, a liability. He's an offensive player. You already have one guy like that with Letang, and I'm talking offense in terms of risk, not producing goals or points. Mm-hmm. We don't have a shot from the point. It's just bad. This team is
we weren't even and we're playing this perimeter bullshit, Nick.
Yeah,
and we're not even putting bodies in front of Sorokin. We're giving him open lanes to see the puck coming from the point. What the hell good is that? Unless you're gonna have an absolute howitzer coming from the top. I mean, what good is that at the end of the day? I mean, come on, man. And Nicholas says, I mean, the Pens drafted 2 goalies in the second round for a reason. Yeah, and we shipped one of them off in the Brassard deal.
Yeah, no, that's this year's draft. They did draft 2 goalies in the recent the 2020 draft.
I'm talking about when
Philip Gustafson. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And I was not happy about that when we traded him.
But Nick, I agree with you. You drafted 2 goalies, but you talk about that window. We talk about that window. Those guys are not going to be ready. Yeah. They won't be ready for another 5-8 years.
Yeah, goalies are one of the positions that take the longest to develop to get to the top, right?
I like Irvin, what he said. My Panthers got shut out. They're a young team with a bright future who took the champs in 6 games, 100%. They got a bright future. They got a really good coach, Joe Quenneville.
Huberdeau had 10 points this series.
Right. Yeah, I like their direction of that team. There are a couple more pieces. They'll be definitely a team to contend with. They got Spencer Knight in the pipes. Give him some season
we're gonna
time
be trading
to get better.
For Bobrovsky at this rate we're going at.
Right.
Irving asks, do you think Crosby's done?
Yeah. Do I think Crosby's done? Do I think he's done as a Penguin? No. I think what's happened with Crosby is that I don't think he believes in the team that he has around him. I think
or the coach.
Or that's a rough series of tough luck, Pens. Yeah, you know what? Is it tough luck? I don't think it's tough luck. I think it's the will and the want and the fortitude that you gotta show in the playoff series. They came out today with some spunk. They took the lead 3 times and they couldn't close it, and that's all the result of the 3 jabronis behind the bench. Vellucci should never be behind that bench. He's an AHL coach. He needs to be seasoned. He needs to understand the game at the pro level, the higher pro level. Mike Sullivan, he's preaching the same shit every year. It doesn't work. And then you have Todd Reardon. Gents, viewers, everybody that's watching right now, okay? They won with Trotzy. Okay? They lost with Reardon. What does that tell you? Okay? And then we pick them up. Come on, give me a break. And I'm going to go back to this. and I tweeted this tonight. This is Jim Rutherford's team. He put this together. Besides Jeff Carter coming over, he put this team together. This team fucking sucks for the playoffs. It really does. It's not big enough. It's not heavy enough. The want is not there. The goaltending's not there. As well as with Mike Sullivan, he picked Jim Rutherford picked the assistant coaches. Sully did not pick them. Okay. And I'll go back to this. The problem with Sidney Crosby is, even though he doesn't say it in the media, he runs the asylum.
He runs the country club.
He runs it. He runs it in terms of, I want to play with Rusty. I want to play with Jake. Okay. No. You know what, Crosby? It's not working right now. You guys stink this series. We need to change it up. Okay. He said tonight he still believes in Gino and Letang and him. Bullshit. This is 4 years. Now, thank you for those 3 cups. But I'm tired. Like I said, we've been looking forward to this. All these Penguin fans, everybody in Pittsburgh, around the world, we're looking forward to the playoffs. We came in first place in the division. We're playing the Islanders. Islanders that had 27th in the league in goals scored. Okay? Home ice advantage this time around against the Islanders. And we can't even go 2 weeks into the fucking playoffs. It is a joke. It's an embarrassment. Mike Sullivan, Sidney Crosby, and you know what? Malkin I'll give props to, because you know what? With one leg, he's done the best he could do the last couple of games. Chris Letang, again, you showed up and then you went back to your same shit. And this is why we're down tonight. And Jordan, you know what? You said it. I said it. We've been saying this.
If me and you catch him in Pittsburgh, bro, he's getting the hands, bro. I'm sorry, bro. And you better be. When I get him to the ground, you better throw some kicks in, bro, because it's going down. Nicholas says, what are your options next year, goalie? I'll give you 2. You better hope either Tuukka doesn't resign, or you better hope the Wild come back and finish off Las Vegas, and we can make a move for Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah, as crazy as that sounds, right? So you got 2 options. As nuts as this is, he, you know, Zucker gave his best.
Put his body on the line, too.
100%. But again,
he definitely looked like he was skating around with a broken foot after that. His strides were a lot shorter, and he was a lot slower after he came back, too, right?
Give him props for tonight, but he's got to go too. That's $5.5 million.
We need that money.
Yeah, you need the money. You need the cap space. But in terms of goalies, you're looking at Vegas. You know, I'm not a big Leonard fan, but listen, at the end of the day, whoever they protect, that's who you have to go after. The other guy they don't protect. So if it's Fleury or it's Leonard, whoever it is, you know, and like you said, Jordan Rask. But I think what I'm hearing, I read some articles the other day. I think after this, Rask is calling it a day. He's going to retire after this series. So after this playoff. So I think Rask is out of the question. And again, I think you need to, if you're gonna go after goalie, yes, I would love Fleury to come back, finish his career off, and maybe go for 1 or 2 more runs. But you're gonna look at a goalie that's probably in his late 20s. That can
is Gibson still on the market?
100% he is, right?
I would be all in on John Gibson, bro.
Right. What do you have to give up there, though?
What do you want?
So I'm thinking if they're going to –
I'll give you Malkin.
Well, they're not going to take Malkin, and we'll see where Malkin goes. But that might be an option because it's in Cali.
You want Letang?
I think you're looking at – honestly, I think you're looking at Jake or Rust.
I'll give him Rust. Let's sign up right now.
And
Jake, I don't know. Jake, I don't know. Jake, I don't want to give up on. He's still a young player. He has a way higher aptitude and hockey IQ than a guy like Brian Rust. Brian Rust comes off like a little bit of a meathead to me. And, you know, I think if you get Rust, now you're forcing that position next to Gensel and Crosby to be filled, and that could make it that could elevate Gensel's game back up. Gensel is a piece I would want sticking around even after Sid's gone. He's shown the ability. Let's be honest with ourselves. I mean, heading into the playoffs, you know, he's the second highest goal scorer in the last 3 or 4 years, right?
Yeah.
Now, and at the end of the day, throwing the body isn't his game, but you go back to the Flyers teams that Hextall built, not every guy on that team was throwing their body.
No, and again, you don't have to be, you just have to finish your checks. You don't have to put the guy in the
No, yeah,
sixth
yeah.
row.
No.
But my concern, Jordan, is with Jake is that his production in the playoffs has just gone out the window. He scored tonight, but that was like a cheap.
Yeah, but that's
cheap
because. But let me ask you this:
okay,
is that because Crosby's production has gone out the window as well?
right. So that's so again.
Because let's be honest, Gensel was the goal scorer. Crosby was the one setting him up most of the time.
Right. So
Crosby has it. Like, look at how many times did you see Crosby put it on a platter for Gensel this series?
Never. But okay, but this is where it goes back to. It's the same thing though. How many times did you see Jake, because of his hockey IQ, Jordan, get the puck to Crosby in certain areas where Sid could bury the puck?
Well, that goal today he scored was on his hockey IQ. He knew to go to the soft spot right there, and he hit it home.
And we've been talking about using that bumper in the
and it worked.
And it worked.
Yeah.
And Sid hit the post on the bumper play as well. But again, it's for me.
That's
though,
when I
Jordan,
knew it was over. That's when I knew we had no chance.
Yeah, for sure. Like they had to score on that power play going into the third to make it 5-4.
And the guy hits the post, and usually Sid buries that from that close in.
But let's look at, if you're looking at a guy like a goalie like Gibson, I'm making that trade, and if it's Getzel's going in that package, I'm making that trade because goalies are hard to come by. Jake is you can replace him.
Not really with our system right now.
Well, again, you got to look at what we're going to be doing in the off season here.
So you'd rather trade him than Rust?
See, my thought on Rust is that
a lot of his goals were.
I would love to see Rust on the third line. If that's the best fit, that's where I think Rusty belongs. But I've lost total confidence in Jake Getzel. I think that he hasn't shown up last year. I'll say, okay, you know what? He came back from injury, didn't have his legs. Forget it, the bubble, whatever. He had 56 games plus this year. He looked soft all season. He got thrown around when the games got a little bit intimidating over the regular season, right?
Yeah,
little chippy. And then you go back to 2019 where he went silent again against the Islanders, and now you're back here again.
The whole team went silent, bro.
No, I get that. But Jordan, at the end of the day, listen, do I like Jake? I think he's got great hockey IQ. But if you're telling me I'm going to get Gibson and I throw in Jake, I'm going for Gibson because Gibson can give you a 7-8 year window here of good, solid goaltending, and it's hard to come by, right? It's hard to come by. You can go after a free agent with some cap space to be that elite winger that's out there, okay? Jordan wants Nick to throw some kicks.
Yeah, Ron Jari. When I get my hands on him, he says,
"Oh yeah."
He says, "Give him Jake." And Nicholas also says, "I agree, Nick."
Yeah,
I'm digging in on this. I don't want Gensel traded. I would not only because I got like a $400 jersey sitting.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah,
but I would rather get rid of Rust. You just basically admitted he's a third line player. Right. If I can get rid of Letang too, I'm here for it, brother.
Yeah. So, again, there's going to be discussions. There's going to be, like out of all the Penguins, Jake looked like a boy out there. But again, this is something where Jake has to understand that he's got to hit the gym. He's got to put weight on. He's got to get more muscular.
That's it. His body has not changed since he entered the league.
Yeah,
that's the thing too.
He has to understand. I think, my boy has bigger legs than he does, and my boy is like, just an early teenager here. So, it's all about hitting the gym and doing those squats. But if somebody's telling me, so there's a defenseman also out there too that in Anaheim that I would love to see come on Pittsburgh with a Gibson trade. Yeah, I think we have to look at the back end too. The back end has, so many of the same type of players. Nobody's rough, and like look at that Mayfield guy. fucking animal. Like, you know what? Just cross-checking Sid in front of the net. Buddy, I don't care who you are.
How was that not a call, though, bro? Come on that one, bro. It was the same thing that happened to Gino, except now it happened in front of the net, bro. Holy fuck.
But you
and
know
I get putting the whistles away, but you got to be consistent when the whistles do come out. Just like Crosby should have got a cross-checking when he did the same thing later on. Just saying.
Yeah, you know, but it's almost like this script was written 5 months ago. You know, I find it ironic that, you know, COVID comes, we have the bubble, and then all of a sudden, you know, everybody's vaccinated, and that damn fucking Nassau Coliseum is 9,000 capacity, and it's just roaring like a
did
bitch.
You hear? They had a non-vaccinated section.
No, I get that. No, they had like 3 different sections, but at the end of the day, if the playoffs started 2 months ago, there wouldn't be one single person in those friggin' stands, right?
Yeah.
The Penguins get intimidated, Jordan. They really do.
Because you got no George Larocque or you got no Reeves.
But the core, they get rattled. Like, I think Sid, when it was 4-3.
This is why you wanted Getzlaf too. If you could add Getzlaf and Jeff Carter and Jeff Carter, different story we're talking about right now. Bud.
You know, some guy even said, you know, some idiot said on Instagram, "Oh, thank God we didn't get Nicolas Deslauriers." You're a stupid jabroni, because you know what? You should have got Carter. You should have got Deslauriers, and you should have got Getzlaf. And this makeup of the team looks totally different. But what I'm going to tell you right now, Penguin fans, is Hexy and Berkey didn't do anything else because this is JR's team. They wanted it to see how far they can go.
Yeah.
Now they've crashed and burned. Brian Burke.
And in all fairness, Nick, the one move they did make for Jeff Carter, they hit it out of the park.
Beauty. But let me tell you something. Brian Burke said on Sportsnet, and everybody has asked him this since he became president of hockey operations. He said on Sportsnet, Hockey Night in Canada, the window was closed for the Pittsburgh Penguins back in December or January when the season started. Okay. So he believes, and he believed that this group, I guarantee it, was not going to succeed. I'm telling you.
You're right.
I am telling you.
The only one he highlighted about being excited to work with out of the core was Sid.
100%.
He never talked about Malkin. He never talked about Letang.
None of them. And to go back to endorsing Sully, he always says Sully's a good coach. But I think both those guys they were like lions in the weeds. They were just watching, seeing. The one interesting thing I have to say too is Mario Lemieux. And, you know, listen, I love the guy. You see the jersey in back of me, the stick. Love the guy. He must be fuming at home right now. He must
not enough red wine in the world to take away the pain he's probably feeling right now.
But the big thing is, Jordan, remember, teams are losing money during this pandemic. Teams are losing. They're bleeding. And not to get another series of home games, I can't believe it. Like this, you know, listen, man, honest to God, I'll tell you one thing, Nick. If Sully does stay, I'll watch the games, of course, because I'm a Penguins fan and whatnot.
But I'm not going to be as invested as I have been.
No way, not in the regular season, man, because you cannot do this year after year. Same song and dance, bro. Same song and dance. And he will not, Nick, he won't know how to coach a team that's big and heavy and has speed, because he just likes guys that just have speed and forecheck. That recipe for success is gone. That was 2016, 2017. It's gone now, right?
That's the problem with winning back-to-back championships with that blueprint. Teams are going to either emulate it or emulate it and figure it out while they emulate it. And that's exactly what's happened, bro.
And that's what happened. And I'll go back to this, okay, is that the Pittsburgh Penguins, again, I've been a fan since 84. I've been up through the ups, downs, lows, highs, whatever you want to call them. They are an arrogant organization, very arrogant, stubborn from the top down. And, they're very hard to make tough decisions. It takes them a long time to do that. We saw that with the Dan Bausma. We saw that, hiring that
years wasted between
wasted.
Sullivan just because you couldn't pull the trigger.
Exactly right. And then you bring in a guy like Mike Johnston, and that didn't work out. Then you bring in Sully, and then you know what? And if you want to blame somebody for Fleury leaving, right? I'd rather have a fucking minor. Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead. If you want to blame someone for Fleury leaving.
Nick, just to let you know, I won a No Meche championship in 2019. I am available. I am available, and I just to let you know, Nick, as well, I do have 4 red hats as a coach. So, and those are OMHA titles, but I am available. So, Nick, if you want to be my agent, we can talk tomorrow. That being said, yeah, in terms of Sullivan, you can. What hockey club are you asking? Okay, so we're talking about the Richmond Stars, and we're also talking about the Milton Winterhawks. So that being said, in terms of Sully, he would be the reason why Marc-Andre Fleury is not in the black and gold, Pittsburgh black and gold. He was a big believer of Matt Murray. He pushed Fleury out to the curbside. Sully brought us 2 cups, but also Sully has brought us a bunch of misery here the last few years. Exactly. Sometimes you got to let go of the past. We let Tavares in the best thing, 100%. But also too, as an Islander fan, you have, if not the best general manager in hockey, Big Lou, man, smart guy. One of the greatest minds to ever GM a team.
And you have one of the best coaches in hockey too.
One of the best coaches. I really think, the Leafs made a big mistake letting Lou go because, this guy can turn around a franchise in a second. He's got a great hockey mind. He demands respect from his players, from his coaches. And you know what? You can say Barry Trotz this series, but honestly, Sullivan didn't make in-game changes or whatnot. I think it comes down to the players, how bad they wanted it, how they executed it. Sidney Crosby had 1 goal. He had 3 goals in he's got 3 goals in 16 games, 15 games here, the last playoff games for the Penguins. It's been a debacle. I'm still in shock right now. I'm just like, tomorrow, okay, like it's done. Like we have nothing to look forward to here. So, yeah, it's heartbreaking.
At least your Wild are still alive, and so are my Hurricanes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but it's just again, it's not the same. There's
of course not.
The feeling you get when you wake up and it's game day and the sun's shining and the playoffs and it's embarrassing. Like it's embarrassing. But again, Jordan, I'll go back to, if you look at April, what happened in April with the Penguins, their 10-3-1 record
was kind of coming happen.
Was bullshit, man.
Yeah, smoke and mirrors.
We saw it, man. We saw like the big goals they were giving up, 5, 7, 8. There's a lot of stuff happening with that team that, and somebody brought it up to me as well. Like, today is that, we talk about the North Division with the trash teams, right? Milton Richmond Hill makes Windsor hockey look like shit, which it is.
Oh, hey, he's talking about my old stomping grounds, bro.
Yeah.
Former Oakville Ranger player over here.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue on. Go ahead.
What was I talking about? Sorry.
You were talking about how it's embarrassing.
Yeah, in terms of you look at the play of these guys here, the core, and especially Sid. Like, again, Jordan, we've been to the Stanley Cup final games. We've seen Sid take over games live.
Bro, We were there when Brooks Orpik earned his contract with
Mhm.
those 5 or 6 hits in the one shift against the Red
Right.
Wings. Me and Nick were present for Sidney Crosby's first ever Stanley Cup Finals goal
Yeah.
and his first ever multi-point Stanley Cup game.
Right. Yeah. But this is a different Sid too. If you look at him,
Me and Nick are also 4-0 in Stanley Cup final appearances.
yeah,
But anyways,
yeah. But if you just look at Sid's demeanor, um, it's he put some blame. He put some blame. Um, am I a AAA coach? I coach I coached AAA 2 years ago. I coach from AAA to AA to A wherever I'm needed. I do a lot of help with multiple teams. So yeah.
but you were full time for a little bit there with AAA, right?
Yeah, I was full time. I started out as a coach in AAA back in the day, and I was there for a number of years. And then I stopped coaching for a little while there, and I got back at it about what is it now, 12 years, and I've gone from AAA to A, advisor, whatever's needed from me. I'm at the rink 6 or 7 times a week.
While grooming future hockey stars.
Yeah, maybe, and also too, talking about Windsor. When we won the OMHAs a few years back, we did beat LaSalle, Nick, and we spanked them. And LaSalle is in your Windsor area, just to let you know that. And I'm sure you know.
And the fruit of Nick's loins will be in the NHL one day.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll see. But that being said, tomorrow, the next day, Pittsburgh media, they're just, my phone's lighting up like a Christmas tree with all these articles and whatnot. There's going to be some great reads the next couple of days. And
how quickly you think changes start? How long do you think they wait?
Well, listen, you talked about it. Rick Tocchet. If they want a chance at getting Rick Tocchet, Sully has to be fired by Sunday, right? Because Rick Tocchet's going for an interview with the New York Rangers, Seattle with Ronnie Francis. There's big time rumors that Rangers are the team that he's looking to go to.
Who, Tocchet?
Yeah, and with that being said, does Tocchet want to come back? Maybe he thinks this core is done. I've never thought that going into tonight. What age group were you when we beat LaSalle? We were that was in minor peewee. That was it was the 2006 age group.
Wow, that's a good point. I never even thought about that.
Yeah, so I was thinking that tonight on my couch about Rick Tocchet, and as much as I've been pushing it and saying Tocchet would be a perfect fit, maybe he doesn't want to come back, right? So
throw the bank at him then, right?
Yeah, do
you think that's, now you got me wondering, do you think that's going to be a hard sell for some of these coaches?
I think the coaches that interview for this job, and hey, Sully might be back, but the coaches that, if Sully's gone and the coaches that interview for this position, there's going to be, I guess, a lot of questions that the management's going to have to answer. Who are they staying with the core? What are you going to build your team around? That's, if I'm a coach going for an interview, I want to know this. And again, you have to remember too, coaching a player like Sidney Crosby, he does probably have a lot to say, right? So, like Mario Lemieux, God love him, but he got coaches fired like it was, changing your underwear. No, it's true, man.
I know. I remember.
It's true, man.
Yeah. So you think it needs to go down by this weekend if they're going to go after a guy like that? So do you see it happening that quickly, though, realistically? Like, word's going to start leaking within the next 48 hours about Sullivan. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that, whether they still believe in him, whether they're going to give him a chance, whether they're going to interview him to see where he's at, if they're going to give him a chance, or whether they're all out on the guy. Do you think that's inevitable in the next 48 hours? At least leaks coming out.
I think there's going to be, like I said, there's tons of articles on my phone, probably talking about the future, what's the core look like, what Sully's looks like. Um, Now we know how the NHL is, and we don't want to sort of probably ruin. The NHL doesn't like to ruin certain parts of the playoffs, so maybe the Penguins do it between rounds, right?
Let me ask you this, bro.
Mm,
We just talked about Sidney Crosby having a little bit of say.
mm.
Do you think Sidney Crosby could be out on Sullivan?
Sorry, what's that? Do I think Sidney Crosby's out on Sullivan? That
Yeah.
doesn't believe in him?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's lost it. I think. Listen, when you go down again, like they have 2018, okay, lost in overtime, you won back to back. They're tired. I get it. That's a long like. When they lost in 2018, man, we went back to back. You went the distance. There's going to be some tired players out there, and it happens. But when you go down 2019, when you go down 2020, now you go down 2021. Yeah, it's definitely
And
to
it's the
me.
way they went out too, right?
It's the way they went out for sure. Like if you look at this series, they lost 3 games in a row. If you look at Montreal, they only won 1 game. So basically, they've won 3 playoff games in the last 3 years. Bad. That's awful, man.
Gaming with Geo says, are y'all going to keep doing coverage of the postseason and other content for the offseason? Yeah, we are definitely going to continue covering the Penguins during the offseason, and we're obviously going to keep you guys up to date as much as possible with what's going on in the postseason and our opinions.
Right.
Hell, the Stanley Cup, you might even get a live reaction stream from us. You know what I mean? If it's a clinching game or whatever.
Yeah.
Also, the expansion draft, who are we losing? We'll do a show based on the expansion draft of guys we see, that are going to be going out the window. Because, Nick, this whole coaching situation, if it's going to be shuffled up, it's got to be settled before that expansion draft, doesn't it not?
Yeah, everything in terms of management, having a plan in place on looking to trade the core, looking to trade whoever you're going to do is going to be before the expansion draft. That has to be decided, right? So how much say do the next coach get, and is that a deal breaking for it? Yeah, but you're not going to get an inexperienced coach coming here.
I was gonna ask you this,
Yeah.
Nick.
Yeah.
Okay, we talk about how they might not believe in the core, but could a guy like Tocchet or Gerard Gallant? Oh shit, Hextall and Burke are in place here, though. Could that be a deal maker for them?
Like they want to come or they don't want to come.
Yeah, like they want to come because they know what those guys could do to a franchise in terms of turning it around.
Yeah, but you still want to see the game plan on a map and see what's going on. Like I said, if I'm going for an interview, I want to know what's happening with the 3 guys. I want to know what's happening with Malkin, Letang, Crosby. I want to know the direction of the team. I want to know about the goaltending. Are you gonna, rectify that? What's the plan with that? Because the culture right now in Pittsburgh, we have a losing culture. We're not in a winning culture right now, so there's got to be a lot of changes for me to be influenced to take this group. I have to see the game plan. I really do, because the game plan that's working now with this core, it hasn't worked in 3 years. So, but like in terms of coverage, guys, listen, anything crazy that goes down with the Penguins, trades, firings, we'll have shows for sure. And Jordan and I will get together to do the podcast in regards to, we'll probably have a podcast talking about the second round and who we got coming out of the second round. We made our winners, we made our picks, whatnot, but we'll dive into, we always love talking hockey.
I gotta ask you, is Babcock a dark horse? Because he kind of has the same attitude as Brian Burke.
Yeah.
And he's been on record as saying
he would love to coach Sid.
Yeah.
But the one thing I'll tell you this is that I think Sidney Crosby, I don't know if he can deal with a tough guy again. Yeah, I don't know if he can deal with a tough guy again.
So Rick Tocchet's tough, but it's because they already have that kinship and that relationship in place, right?
Yeah, Rick Tocchet is a different head coach. He's a head coach that demands respect, but he's a player's coach as well, right? Players love playing for him. So, being a head coach and being an assistant coach in the past, the assistant coach is a buffer for the players, right? So, yeah.
What a tough one, bro.
Yeah.
This is just it goes back to what you said a couple minutes ago. Waking up when you're eliminated from the postseason is a different feeling, bro.
It's going to be a tough night going to bed tonight, and a tough morning to wake up and realize it's all over again.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So, I guess, is there anything else left you want to cover here?
No, it's, again, you know what? It's been like doing this as a podcast for the first time with Jordan doing Pens and Pucks. Man, it's been awesome talking about Penguin hockey, because I've been talking about it for a long time and sharing it with everybody out there. It's been great. I think, hopefully better days are ahead here. But it's just disappointing. Bleed black and gold, and we'll see what happens with the decisions in the next week or so. And we still got a lot of hockey to talk about: the draft, the expansion draft, free agency.
Yeah.
So again, you know what? Enjoy the playoff hockey. Yeah, enjoy the playoff hockey, because there's great hockey out there. Even though your Penguins are not in it, there's some amazing games, and every night.
And remember, Puckheads, it could have been worse. You could have been a Caps fan or a McDavid fan.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said to my boys tonight, I said, anybody that ever questions you, you got 09, 2016, 2017. A lot of fans don't even get to see one. So,
well, think of it: 4 Stanley Cup appearances in the Sidney Crosby era, 5 Eastern Conference appearances in the Stanley Cup era.
Right.
In the Sidney Crosby era as well. Not many teams get that, but that's why we get so disappointed, and that's why we rail on the team so much, because the expectations are there. We don't settle for less than great, and the problem and the issue that me and Nick have is this coaching staff and some of the players have forced us to settle for less than great.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
It's almost like the same movie as we saw with Dan Bylsma, Jordan. High expectations, smashing those beers. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're smashing them for sure. Been smashing them for a couple hours now.
I went from Cokes to beers.
And I'll have one more beverage before I go to bed.
I got another Rona on ice.
Yeah, there you go. But it just goes back to, I really believe that this organization, Jordan, and to all the viewers, a lot of the times they smoke and mirror us, unfortunately, because we do so well in the regular season, and then after, it's just, and we saw this with Dan Bylsma. We saw it, the same thing, high expectations. Like Sidney Crosby, this core should have 5 cups.
We've turned into the Capitals from 5-6 years ago.
100%, right? So, as crazy as it sounds, like a guy like, I know Penguin fans, like a guy like TJ Oshie, change an environment, this is what the Penguins have to look at. They have to be creative here. They have to be really creative. So we'll see.
Yep. All right. And those are your final thoughts for tonight, Nick?
That's it.
All right, guys. I'm sure we'll be back sooner than later. But until then, Puckheads, keep your heads up. I know it stings, but find solace in the fact that at least you're waking up tomorrow. I don't know what else. And hopefully Nick is right. Hopefully we all wake up to a Mike Sullivan being fired notification. Thank you for everyone, Nicholas, JFam, Geo, Kai, Irving, everyone who showed up in the comments tonight, trying to ease us through this pain, digging in the trenches. Appreciate all you guys for interacting.
Do you mind if I plug my other podcast there, bud?
Go ahead, bro.
All right. So again, if you guys are interested in hockey talk, I do run a podcast. It's either Wednesday night or Thursday night. It's called The Hockey Lounge. And we have different guests every week, but it's just casual hockey talk, NHL, junior, whatever it is. We're talking about the NHL playoffs now. You can check it out. It's on YouTube. But this is where it has to be. It's black and gold forever. And honestly, you guys have been awesome with all the comments. Nick, you know what? I see you on Instagram, and listen, I know shit about social media. I'll tell you that right now. I'm an old dog, right? So Jordan's
Instagram game down pretty good though.
So Jordan, man, like with all these templates and all this stuff, he's rocked it. So again, keep on following us. I really appreciate it.
Shout out to Guitar Guru as well, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks. Buddy.
Thanks so much for your time and support, guys. It ain't over. Like Nick said, we got the expansion draft, the draft, free agency. So we're gonna be back, and before you know it, guess what? The new season's gonna be starting, and we'll be right back here again too. So, all right, guys, we're not going anywhere. It's just it's not goodbye. It's see you later. Yeah. All right. Have a good night, everyone, or at least try to smash a couple brewskis. Ease the pain. All right, numb it. All right. Have a good day. Have a good night, everyone. We'll talk later, puckheads.